Yes, it's me. It's the MIC Craig, aka Mr. Impact, here for Talking Bloody Nonsense, episode 3. And of course, I am joined by the wonderful Nixon. How are we doing?
Yeah, pretty good. Well, Boris has said we're good for Christmas, so it hasn't ruled out further restrictions after Christmas Day. So that means we're going to be locked down as of the 27th. I think that's how I take that statement. No, all gravy here. Done all my Christmas wrapping. Just tidying and cleaning the house at this point, ready for the family to come around. How you doing, Craig?
Yeah, all good. Pretty much the same boat as you. I hate wrapping. I can't wrap presents. That is.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not a glider. Definitely not.
Oh no, I can't do that either. But you need specific paper for that. You need like expensive paper to be able to glide. Yeah. Not the shit I buy from Tesco.
No, definitely doesn't work. I bought mine from Primark and it just fell apart.
I feel your pain.
Typical Primark either.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just heads up to everyone that this will be our final show of the year, but we'll be back January 6th with a whole new bunch of nonsense. So with this show, we'll be looking at Impact a year in review. We're going to what we think Brit Rest scene is going to look like in the coming year, and our favourite moments from Impact and from wrestling in general this year, and to be a fun little game and a nod to my time on the main show with a little 20 questions. Who am I? I'm sure you're familiar with if you've watched this before. But without any further ado, I think we'll get into our main headline of the week, a year review of Impact. So I want to get your thoughts on how you feel Impact has gone this year. What was their biggest moment, in particular, and get your feelings on the Forbidden Door, and just how you feel the direction of Impact has gone from last year to this year. Obviously, a completely different time between last year and this year, but your thoughts on everything that's gone down in Impact this year.
It's hard because it's unprecedented times. We started the year with no fans in the building. Obviously now we've moved into having fans in Skyway Studios. Yeah. Off to Sam's Town in Las Vegas. They've been getting good crowds, and I see the factory in Dallas is about to sell out. I don't know the official capacity, but it's going to be a big house there. So yeah, we're on the rise again. It felt like we were on the rise in 2019, and then the world shut down. So it's a rebuilding process for everyone, I guess, but especially for Impact, because we were on such a high. Going into Bound for Glory 2019, where they had 3,000 in Chicago at the Odeon, and then just obviously what happened with the pandemic really set us a couple of years behind again. But yeah, it's been a great year. As far as big moments, this is going to be controversial. I think the biggest moment this year for Impact Wrestling was on AEW Rampage when Christian beat Kenny for the title.
Oh. Okay.
What do you reckon?
I would probably have to agree for the biggest moment of the year, because it was it's a great moment for Impact fans. Christian was coming home. And he took the title off Kenny, even though most people felt like it should have been an Impact guy taking the title from Kenny. It didn't mind so much because it felt like he was an Impact guy, even though he hadn't been there for years. It felt like to a lot of people that Christian was an Impact guy and is an Impact guy. Because when you look at Christian, I mean, he was the first person to really cross the line.
Yeah.
he was the guy to make it. If it wasn't for Christian, we probably wouldn't have had likes of Kurt Angle come across, Drew McIntyre, those type of people.
Yeah.
So I kind of have to agree. But Forbidden Doors as a whole has been phenomenal. Of course, it started with Kenny Omega, and even though I enjoyed the moments because Kenny is entertaining, I've never denied that. Kenny is really entertaining. For me, my issue, not the issue with Kenny, it's my feelings on Kenny is that great character, great wrestler, but not as great as everyone is saying he is. There's a lot of hype behind Kenny Omega, and I just don't see it. Maybe I'm completely just missing something, but I'm not seeing it with Kenny. But I mean, we've had the likes of Jay White come through. We had 2 members of the Bullet Club, and then of course Chris Bay. We've had Suzuki, which was someone I never thought would walk into Impact. Never, especially obviously with the whole history of Impact in New Japan. You think there's no way that relationship will ever be fixed again.
Yeah.
Let alone having some of their biggest stars walk into the company. Kojima, Suzuki, Jay White, Hikaleo's on the rise, but it's crazy because I was thinking a while back of how many other companies' championships have came through the door of Impact. Obviously had the IWGP a couple of times. We've had a couple of Dragon Gate titles. Obviously Austin Aries had a lot of Brit Rest titles with him.
Yep.
It was the IPW, the Defiant, and whoever. I've lost track of who else it was, but
he had 5 titles at one time, didn't he?
Yeah. It was. It's crazy, and even now, obviously, it was announced on BTI by the Iceman that the current Ring of Honor Women's World Champion Roxy will be coming to Impact after Hard to Kill. But also with the news of Roxy having a tryout at WWE, maybe Diona does win it. But it has been a solid year for Impact. Obviously, if we ignore the TV ratings, it's been a great year. TV ratings aren't the be all and end all now, because there's more than one way to watch wrestling. I want to get your thoughts on just how you feel pay-per-views have gone. I know there's been a lot of banging matches on the pay-per-views, but how, in terms of capacity and buys and just pay-per-views in general, how would you say they've gone?
Well, just to your point about TV ratings, the numbers that we see reported only reflect the amount of people watching on Access TV at that time on a Thursday night. It doesn't, take into account the DVR numbers. It doesn't take into account people watching on YouTube like me. People around the world watching on, whatever TV channel they choose to watch on. So, yeah, it's an unfair way of seeing how the product is performing, TV ratings. And I would say that for any company, really. The pay-per-views. So ever since we had that string of awesome pay-per-views in 2018, I think it was Redemption, Slammiversary, and then on to Bound for Glory, people started noticing that Impact was a different company than it was before. Slammiversary in particular had so much buzz about it because it was this fantastic pay-per-view. People went out of their way to see it, having read the buzz, heard the buzz. So the pay-per-views are doing good numbers, and continuously having tremendous events. I'm just talking about the 4 pay-per-views here, not the Impact Plus specials, which are always awesome as well. As far as pay-per-view matches from this year that I would say have stuck out, the X Division title and the World title always deliver on pay-per-view. And I make this point all the time when talking with friends and colleagues. The main event should always be the best match on the show. That's why when you see, the X Division title stole the show, the women's match stole the show, you never hear the term the main event stole the show, because the main event should be the best match on the show. And, with Kenny and Sammy, with Christian and Josh, it happens more often than not. The main event is the best match. But Trey as X Division champion and Josh as X Division champion had a hell of a run as the X Division champion. Some tremendous matches this year.
Oh, yes.
That is what I will remember about 2021 for Impact Wrestling in terms of pay-per-views.
Yeah, I agree. Josh Alexander. Obviously, it's to say it right now is difficult, but when we look back on this year in a few years' time, unless something spectacular happens, Josh Alexander has had the best run of X Division champion in years. Probably the greatest X Division champion of all time. It might be Josh Alexander he is what that bout's all about.
If I could cut you off, Craig, I would say the run that he had as X Division champion is the best run of any X Division champion. I'd say there've been better champions, people who have held it multiple times, like AJ Styles, Chris Sabin, etc., etc. But Josh's run this year as X Division champion was the best run of any X Division champion. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's obviously when we look at the greatest X Division champions, there are some incredible names on that list. Some of the best wrestlers in the world. And I honestly believe Josh Alexander, for me, anyway, because like I said, he is what that title's all about. He's a workhorse. He's a phenomenal wrestler. Obviously, originally the X Division was kind of like a cruiserweight thing. And then added the no limits to it, and that's Josh. When the North split up, I think at that point most people were saying that Josh should be world champion, but I did want to see it as an X Division champion, because especially around that time the title was being hot shotted quite a lot. I think it was Rohit, then Willie, then
Chris
Bay. Yeah, so it's going around those three, it felt like. And then of course went to Ace Austin. And TJP, and so from TJP run it started to get better.
Yeah.
And then when Josh took it over, wow. I mean, the guy is incredible. That's what Josh Alexander is probably my wrestler of the year. No, he is my wrestler of the year.
I think he was the most valuable player for Impact this year, 100%.
Yeah, and when we look at the Knockouts division as well, probably, again, Knockouts division has always been great. This year, they went to another level. By far, I mean, Deonna Purrazzo, again, for me, she's not just one of the best women's wrestlers ever. She's one of the best wrestlers ever. Currently, ever is to be determined, but right now, currently,
that's bold, yeah.
Yeah, it's like ever? No, how right now? Ever is to be determined, but right now, Deonna Purrazzo. I mean, if anyone who's been released has proven to WWE that you made a mistake, it's Deonna.
Mm-hmm.
You fucked up letting me go, and I'm going to prove to you that you've messed up letting me go, and she has. Go back to the Iron Man match. I believe that was this year. I think I still can't quite figure out what year we're
You're
on at the
talking
minute.
Josh and TJP or Diana and Jordan?
Diana and Jordan.
I think that was late last year.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything's just coming out now. This year's coming around clearer. Last year and the year before just completely merged together. Just trying to figure out. But I mean, even so, Diana versus Mickey was incredible, just like we knew it would. And obviously, this year we still got the Texas Death Match to look forward to.
Yeah.
It's going to be mind blowing.
I think Diana and Mickey had the knockouts match of the year at Bound for Glory. And I can't wait to see what they do in the Texas Death Match at Hard to Kill. I think it's going to be fantastic. Totally different style of match for them.
Yeah, we know they can both wrestle, but it's going to be something completely different, and I cannot wait to see it. But,
if I could just go on a quick little rant about the Diana Mickey match, because I would say that was 4.5, 5-star match all day long. It got 2 stars in the Observer. That is outrageous. You know, Ty Conti and Britt Baker, they had a good match, but they got rated higher than Mickey and Diana. I lost my shit.
Yeah.
I had to turn Twitter off because I didn't know what I was going to type.
Yeah, I completely understand that. It's one of these things amongst Impact fans. Like, we know that a great match is going to get a poor rating, but we put ourselves through it and we look at the ratings for the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's very clearly Meltzer doesn't watch Impact.
Yeah,
it very clearly does. And it's clear we all know who his favorites are.
Yeah, Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Exactly. So in his eyes, they can do no wrong. So, but it also proved that he doesn't like Impact because when Kenny was there, I don't think it got anything higher than 4.
Mm.
So it's very clear that he just doesn't like Impact.
Yeah.
He can't. The Meltzer ratings, they're just they're frustrating. It's the same with the PWI top 100, top 50, whatever they do.
Mm.
We all know Impact are going to get overlooked. It's just something they've had to for a while.
Yeah.
Particularly with, I think I believe Diana made top 10. I think top 4. So that's good. It's improvement. But if we're looking at the best wrestlers, Diana's number 1 in terms of all the women's champions right now in wrestling. Well, and Mickey and Diana's champion. Diana was by far the best. Becky was great. Charlotte, take or leave Charlotte. Britt Baker again. Britt was the only person they were really developing in AEW. She's the only one they could really put the title on. There was no one being built up. There was Shida and I forget. Nyla Rose. Yeah. So, but Britt was the only one they actually put time behind.
Yeah.
I don't really pay much attention to it, but I pay attention to it. I kind of know what's going on. I have a feeling. I don't watch it week in, week out, but you kind of don't have to watch it to know what's going on. AEW posts a lot of their content on Twitter.
Yeah.
It's just, but when you look at Impact right now, especially moving into the YouTube market, that was a great move for them. I was saying for years they should be capitalizing on their numbers on YouTube, because I believe Jordan Grace's debut against Alexia Nicole is on 20 million views. So over 20 million views. Yeah. The Beautiful People versus Madison Rain in an evening gown match is on 78 million.
All these pervs on YouTube.
I know, right? I wonder why that got to number one. It's only a little clip.
Well, Impact, TNA Wrestling were the first company to embrace YouTube, weren't they?
Yeah.
They do solid numbers every week on YouTube because of their longevity.
Yeah. But yeah, it's been one hell of a year for Impact. Again, we overlook negativity, which Impact gets most years, unnecessarily, because right now I think the only thing people have to complain about, or they did have to complain about, was the no crowds. That was a big point of people complaining about Impact. I think of that, and also I think it was the technical issues. They're the only things that they could really, on the small venues. That's the only thing people really have to complain about. They couldn't complain about the wrestling. They couldn't complain about the show itself, because each week, shows. I mean, I always say Impact are on a level. They always hit that level. They never drop below it. They only go above it. They always hit the same level, and that's hard to say of most wrestling companies now. Not many are that consistently good.
Yeah.
If any, really. I don't particularly watch a lot outside of Impact, but if I'll watch a WWE pay-per-view on the network. I think, but it's difficult because the matches that should be good aren't always that good.
Yeah.
Or with AEW, they'll promote a certain show, and it gets more hype than it necessarily should, because of they drop a hint of someone coming in. Obviously, the CM Punk thing was mind blowing, even though everyone at that point knew, but wasn't confirmed. But when his music hit, I mean, even I went out of my way to find that on YouTube, because there's no denying that was a huge game changing moment. But as a whole for Impact, it's been a very solid year. There's still a few haters around, but I think by this point, if they haven't jumped on the Impact bandwagon, then it's kind of too late for them.
Yeah.
If they still find something to complain about Impact, maybe don't pander to them too much.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hard to, when people have an opinion in their mind, it's hard to change that opinion. And when TNA was going through tough times with bad booking and poor shows, it's hard to shake that stigma, even though, it's a completely different company. It's 100% totally different now. It's hard to shake that stigma of lol TNA, and that's unfortunate. But time heals all wounds, as they say, and hopefully these people, if they get to see what Impact are producing, the good stuff, hopefully their minds will be changed. But yeah, it's going to take time. Simple as that.
Yeah, no, that's it. If people want to say Impact's bad, cool. You clearly aren't watching, but it's cool for you. Just don't. For me, I'm not saying so much, but I live by. Life is as simple as this. Don't be a dick. It's as simple as that. Just don't be a dick. Okay, before we move on to the subheading, I want to get from each division, the X tag, World, and Knockouts, and Knockouts tag. Who has been your standouts
in each division? Okay, this is tough. In the world title picture, I would say the standout has been Moose, current champion. The match with Kenny on the Impact Plus special, which emanated from Daly's place. The match against Eddie Edwards recently. And And just that moment when he took the title from Josh in front of his wife and child, it doesn't get much better than that. The sound bite of D'Lo Brown shouting, "Damn you, Moose!"
Yeah,
is iconic.
Yeah.
X Division standout. Cool. I mean, blimey. It's hard to look past Trey Miguel, the current champion.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've got Chris Bay, Ace Austin, Laredo Kid. You know, someone that should be in that position as at least top 5 of the year.
Yes.
Rohit Raju knocks out of the park every week. Oh man, yeah, I'll say Trey Miguel. Yeah, I'll say Trey Miguel.
Trey.
But yeah, that one is tough.
Knockout.
Gotta be Deanna Purrazzo. Has to be.
The men's tag team division.
I don't want to say the Good Brothers, the current champions. Right, we talked about this last week. The tag division is getting stronger, but it's been a tumultuous year, a tedious year for the tag division as a whole. I'm going to have to say... Oh, no, I'm going to go with Finjuice.
Right. I'm for the Knockouts tag. Knockouts tag.
Decay?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's fleshed out. I did a great job. For me, I had a little bit of thought about this, but for me, I do have to go with Moose in the world title division. Josh Alexander for the X division.
Yeah, that's fair.
Knockouts, again, yeah, it has to be Deanna Purrazzo. Even if a great roster, stacked roster, but I do want to give a shout out to Gia Miller, even though she's not technically knocked out, but she has been phenomenal this year. Gia Miller has been great. I hope we get to see a bit more from her in the ring.
She was so good on Throwback Throwdown.
Right?
Yeah.
She should be in the ring a lot more. For the knockouts, for the men's tag division, I do have to go with Finjuice. But again, for me, VBD deserve a special shout out because they did a great job.
Fantastic.
Knockout and in the knockouts tag division, it would just probably have to be Decay. I mean, I think Fire and Flavor were there for the start of this year. So they deserve a shout out. Also, I mean, the Inspiration, because they are stars and they've come in, took over that division, and they've given it a bit more star power, which is something it needed.
The division already had depth, but I agree about the star power totally. Yeah,
they're phenomenal. So move on now to our first subheading, and of course, the start of this year was a bit up in the air with the British wrestling independent scene, but it's picked up momentum again. Obviously, difficult time, and obviously it's been a very interesting time. I want to get your thoughts on a little bit on how you feel it's gone this year, but also what direction do you feel like it's going in heading into next year? Is there anyone that's going to stand out next year? Is there a company that's going to stand out? You know, how do you feel next year could go for British wrestling?
That's such a tough question because we are once again entering unprecedented times. We don't know if we're going to be locked down, whether there's going to be limits on people in venues. Well, there already is, I guess, over 500. If people have to wear masks in venues, it's tough. I think again it will take a bit of rebuilding because Yeah, we did. My first show back after the pandemic was in Great Yarmouth for DOA, Peter Nixon's Beach Ball Mania 3. And we did a massive house, our biggest house for DOA ever, because it was the first show back after the pandemic. And we chose to do Beach Ball Mania 3 because it's a fun show. You didn't need to take it too seriously. Just have some great matches and fun little bits and pieces on there. The show was tremendous. You can watch it on Fight TV. If you search DOA Beach Ball Mania 3, it's a fantastic show. I highly recommend it. I'm in the main event.
Nice.
Yeah. And you can watch it for free as well.
Very cool.
So, yeah, ever since then, we've been doing good houses with DOA. And we did a great house in Skegness for LWP, Lion Wrestling Promotions. That was their first proper show. Upon that, yeah, the first half of the year is going to be tough. Even if we're not locked down, people are going to be hesitant to come out to see shows because of this new variant, Omicron. And, you know, rightfully so, people should be cautious, especially this time of year. We don't want to have too many people hospitalized at Christmas. It's the responsible thing, is just to lay low for a bit. So yeah, it's going to take a bit of rebuilding, but some companies are going to take advantage of it as soon as people are ready to come out again. As soon as those first few shows start to happen again, the crowds will be good. They'll be ready for it, like they were in the summer of this year. It can only go up again. It might come back down again and up. It's like a roller coaster.
Yes.
The wrestling in the UK, you know, the wrestling style is very influenced by the States and Japan. But I think British wrestling needs to get back to its roots. There's some companies and some wrestlers that are very good at this. But we need, as British wrestlers, we need to set ourselves apart from the rest of the world. Because if you want to see Japanese wrestling, you don't go to a British wrestling show. You watch New Japan, you watch Pro Wrestling Noah, etc. If you want to watch the American indie style, you watch AEW, you watch Impact Wrestling. We need to set ourselves apart again. We need to, what's the word I want? We need to showcase, profile tremendous British wrestling. And if there's any wrestlers out there that can take advantage of this, that can, you know, do this at a high standard, do it. You know, practice. Go back and watch old stuff, because what's old is new again. Go back and watch Johnny Saint, Kid McCoy, Dynamite Kid, because their stuff, even like, you know, Jim Breaks, John Cortez, people like that, their stuff, if you go back and watch it, it's all on YouTube. All of it is on YouTube. Their stuff blows my mind today. Stuff they were doing in the 70s. This is a perfect example. I was training with a gentleman called Ivan Trevors. What a great guy. Legend. I can't think anyone outside of East Anglia will ever have heard of him, but he was a tremendous wrestler in like the 60s and 70s. He taught us that, you know, the move, the Code Red, they were doing that in the 50s. That was the sunset flip. And it changed to what we now know as a sunset flip. But it was because the person that doing the move didn't want to take a bump. They would jump on, hook themselves in, and then go with it, instead of the normal sunset flip where you just jump over and you land on your ass.
Yeah. Wow. That's awesome, man. I mean, like you said, if we are going into a lockdown, but when we come out of it, like last time, first show I went to after the lockdown was Catch PW in Manchester. Now, the crowd waiting outside in the queue. I mean, the queuing up for wrestlers can be annoying at times, but I missed it. It was just, having a chat with someone in front of you or behind you about being a wrestling fan. It's that feeling, and walking into a venue, seeing the ring, music playing, the wrestlers at the merch table. It's just what a feeling that was. So I kind of hope that we don't have to, that doesn't have to happen again, in the sense that we have to wait months and months and months. But obviously, people's health. Oh, excuse me. My Lady Frost ate my pen, just fell off the wall. So, I think Lady Frost wants to get a saying, but the same. It's walking out that venue is so cool. So, but people's health needs to come first. That is the most important thing, because without people, there's no wrestling. So, but as for the scene for the following year, coming year, I'm excited because I saw on Twitter the last few weeks that there are 2 new companies starting up in the West Midlands. Got Art of Combat starting out in Stafford. On their first show, they've already announced Chris Ridgway, Dan Maloney, and Tom Thelwell, which 3 great stars right there. And another one is Phenomenal Elite Wrestling in Stratford upon Avon.
What a great name!
Yeah, great name. On their first card, they've got on the poster I believe I saw Mad Kurt. I've seen it was Rio, Mariah May, Mr. Charles Crowley, Sheikh Al Sham, and Martin Kirby.
Oh, it's a great roster.
That is an incredible start. That's just I saw some others as well, but I couldn't quite make them out. But that is going to be insane. I mean, I know Stratford a little bit. My sister's from there, so where the venue is, it's a bit out of the way, which is not all ideal. But it's obviously I don't know the ins and outs of running a building, so I can't really say much on that. But I cannot wait. Kamikaze just announced their dates for the coming year. There's so many promotions. And I'm glad there's more Midlands wrestling, because the Midlands used to be a huge part of the British scene. There's not so much now. It's funny. I went to my a company called PWL, and at that show, there was someone at the front of the crowd. I kind of recognised them. And it took me a while to realise who they were. It was a Klondike Kate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't realise until I left the building that it was Klondike Kate. It just took me a while to realise who it was. Because the thing is, I learned about it in school. It's a random English lesson. I learned about Klondike Kate. So it's very cool. I'm excited for what's coming up. It's going to be a great time. But
you mentioned Klondike Kate. I'd say she's the more prominent female wrestling figure in the UK, probably ever. I think the female wrestlers in the UK are going to be the standouts, certainly in 2022. If I can point to one person who's going to lead that, I don't know the word for it, lead that charge, Alex Windsor. She's the current Rev Pro Women's Champion. I trained with her. I've known her for 10 years. She's a good friend. She had some time out to deal with an injury. She's come back and she hasn't lost a step. She's incredible. If you get a chance to see Alex Windsor live, take it. I watched her. I think might have been her first match back at Pro Wrestling Eve Wrestle Queendom this year. She wrestled Zoe Lucas, and Zoe Lucas is okay. I think she's a little bit overrated. I don't want to be harsh. Oh, I guess I am being harsh. But Alex Windsor carried Zoe through that match. It was a tremendous match, but it was because of Alex Windsor. I'm sorry, Zoe, if you watch this. Yeah, get a chance, see Alex Windsor live. She's incredible. She's only going to go on and do bigger and bigger things with more companies in the new year.
Yeah, it's funny you mention Alex Windsor because she's actually from my county. Yeah, she's from Kidderminster, I believe, and that's about 20 minutes on the train from me.
I think she lives in Kidderminster. She is from a little town outside of Norwich.
Okay. I know Kidderminster on a buy, which is awesome because you know it's not very often. There's not a lot of wrestlers from my area. I think the main standout who's from where I'm actually from is Tyson T-Bone.
Oh yeah.
Currently on NXT. Even though they announced him from Malvern, he's actually from Worcester. But yeah, it's an exciting time for British wrestling as a whole. If I think I've heard a couple of reports that January 4th it'd be a whole national lockdown. If it is, it's not great, but I think starting around the 26th, but by 4th everyone will be locked down. It's just fun.
Yeah.
But anywho, so we've got about 20 minutes left, and for the final 10 minutes we're going to do a little game. But before we go on to that, what have you most enjoyed about wrestling this year? Like your personal favorite highlights from Impact or from British Wrestling? What's been your highlight?
I think I spoke about it in our first episode. One of the best matches in British wrestling this year, well, certainly the best match that I saw was Ospreay and RKJ at High Stakes Rev Pro. If you get a chance, highly recommend that match. 5 stars all day long. I don't know if Meltzer's rated it. I'll have to research that. Other highlights, certainly with Impact, I would say Kenny and Sammy, one of the best matches this year. I would say Moose and Eddie from Turning Point, one of the best matches. I know Meltzer put over Swan and Kenny, but I can't remember if it was Max or Jeff said this on the main show. Rich didn't turn up for it. No. I thought he shit the bed, honestly. I was gutted. The match was good, but it was good because Kenny was in it. I'm sorry. Yeah. Rich just... I don't know if he was sick or if he had something else going on. His mind wasn't in it. There must have been a reason, because Swan is usually always there.
Yes.
But yeah, for whatever reason, yeah, I thought he didn't deliver in that match. The Ultimate X match, I think it was Josh, Chris Bay, and
Petey Williams.
Yeah.
I think Trey was in it, I think.
Yeah. Rohit, maybe? I can't remember.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
Yeah.
The 3-way at Bound for Glory with Macklin, Trey, and
ELP,
yeah, El Fantasmo. That was a hell of a match. As far as moments go, I loved Wrestle House 2.
Yeah.
I thought it was tremendous. I'm going to sound a bit creepy when I say this, but anytime Chris Sabin's walking around with in slow motion,
first drop Sabin.
I thought it was hilarious. Yeah, there's so much good stuff this year at Impact. Swingers Palace, the last episode of that with the compilation, yeah, that was one of my favorite moments of the year. The last Swingers Palace was tremendous, and I hope they are able to do something equally as good was Swinger and Hernandez going forward.
Yeah, it's. I agree with Swinger's Palace thing, and obviously my highlights this year. A personal highlight was getting back to live shows. That was like just an incredible moment. Speaking to people I haven't spoken to in ages, seeing from some familiar faces from the BritRest Twitter. Now, it was a very cool moment. But as for impact, I mean, like, where do you start?
Mm.
It's, I said it earlier, it's been an incredible year. Maybe I think the Forbidden Door being open, particularly from the New Japan side, has been incredible. You know, obviously Finn Juice coming in. They didn't. Excuse me, been tasered. They don't really get a lot of love from the New Japan side of stuff. I found, but But when it came to Impact, people knew who they were.
Mm.
I mean, for me, I only knew who Juice was because of his time at NXT. But obviously, I learned about David Finlay, and it's just wow, they've just been great. I mean, I wasn't a fan of taking titles off Impact guys and taking them elsewhere. I didn't particularly like that, but with Finn Juice, I trusted New Japan a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they had every right to just bury those titles over New Japan. They had every right to. Impact did pretty much exactly the same to them. So they had every right to, but they didn't. And it's been New Japan and Impact is how you do a working relationship in wrestling.
Yeah.
That's how you do it. You promote each other's show. Yeah, New Japan don't necessarily promote Impact every week, but they always promote the matches that their guys featured in.
Yeah,
which is always cool. And same with Impact. When Bay was in the Super J Cup, they promoted that, and also TJP, but it was mainly around Bay, which is understandable.
Yeah,
and just. Dion Perazzo has been a highlight. Josh Alexander was a highlight. Jordan Grace had a great year. Started off a bit wobbly, but a great year. Decay have really shone in this year. I know a lot of people were skeptical when they brought in Black Taurus, but I think this is probably the best Decay has been. Probably my favorite Decay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Abyss was great, but it also Abyss already had a name going into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he obviously, of course, he helped and had great feuds with. I spoke with Rosemary earlier in the week. She was saying about their feud with the Wolves, how that's her favorite Decay feud. It was great when they came in, took the titles, sold titles from the Wolves. I loved it, and the stuff with House Hardy, phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
So but this Decay of Black Taurus, I mean, Black Taurus is just a monster, and I love to see it because he's just a big guy who can really move.
Yeah. I would like to see Black Taurus featured more prominently in the new year. I feel like he is kind of in the shadows of Decay when he should be featured more heavily.
Yeah, I agree. And also maybe a little bit more from Crazy Steve as well, because he's very entertaining. Like, I didn't know at the time until I found out yesterday, I think it was, that it was Crazy Steve. Crazy Steve was the ring announcer at Throwback Throwdown. Like,
I know, yeah.
How insane is that? He looks jacked for a start, like way more jacked than he looks when he's just wrestling. The guy's huge, and just he's very entertaining. Which I kind of knew anyway. You got that sense from the first Wrestle House, but like he's a funny dude, and obviously, of course, adding Havoc to the group was I was a bit, not skeptical, but a bit worried about that. Thinking she just come off a team with Nevaeh, which again that could have worked. That could have gone a lot better than probably should have. Probably did. But she's a perfect fit in Decay.
Yeah,
perfect fit. And a big highlight for me, the Inspiration coming in. I've been a fan of the Inspiration since their days in NXT, and on the main roster, those titles were just thrown on them. They weren't. They say, "Oh, here's some titles." They weren't really makes it feel like important champions as women's tag team champions. Because I mean, from what I gather, it was just Sasha and Bayley just badgering Vince McMahon about getting them.
Yeah.
So didn't really work out, but they're an Impact where they can shine. Yeah. See, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, Impact don't have the reach of WWE," but they do. It's there to find and there to watch weekly.
Yeah.
You can't say that they don't have the reach. If it's down to you to find them, they're out there for everyone. They promote a lot better than they used to, a lot better than they used to. So they're out there. You can find this stuff. Impact is doing great work. We're going a little bit over, but it's fine. It's Christmas. We can go a little bit over. So yeah, this is our final 10 of the year. So yeah, it's a little fun game. You've seen it on TNIW channel, and basically Nix and I are going to think of a wrestler, and we have to guess who it is within 20 questions. Say if I say Alex Shelley and it's in 15 questions, and Nixon says to me AJ Styles and it's in 14 questions, Nixon will win. So we'll go up to about we'll do best of 3.
Okay.
Should fill a little bit more time. So have you got anyone in mind?
I certainly do.
Okay, so I'll see if I can try and guess. Were they in TNA or Impact?
If it's yes or no questions,
Okay.
then
Were they in TNA?
Yes.
Okay. Were they a world champion?
No.
Did they hold any championship?
Yes.
That's my 4th question. So, were they a tag team champion?
No.
So okay, I'm gonna go. Are they male?
Yes.
Okay, so
sorry, I'm not counting. Should I be counting?
So I'm counting. So that's
okay.
That's my 5th question. Okay, so I'm going X Division champion. Male. Did they ever go to WWE?
Yes.
So what more champion? Oh. Did they? Were they world champion in WWE?
No.
Okay. Oh, this is really a tough one. Did they? Are they in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Are they more known for their time in TNA than WWE?
Are they more known for their time in WWE than TNA?
In
yes.
TNA?
Yeah. They are more known for their time in WWE.
Okay. So an X Division champion, more known for WWE. Oh, this is my 10th question. So I've really got a thing on this one. Were they part of a faction?
Yes. Yeah, they were. But I would, as a crap question, honestly, as I wouldn't even consider them as a faction person.
Okay. Is it Davari?
No.
Oh. This is really a tough one. This is my. I've asked 12 questions now, so really got to think. So, X-Division champion, not known for a faction, but been in TNA. Oh, not known for WWE. Was it part of the Asylum days?
No.
Okay. X-Division champion, not known for factions. One WWE. Were they ever in WCW?
No.
Oh, okay. I think we gotta think now. Did they ever have like a big moment in TNA where like a really memorable moment that's replayed over and over again?
No, not really.
Okay. So they didn't make much of an impact.
That's hard to say. I'm not going to include that as one of your questions.
Okay.
Obviously made an impact on me because I can, I've got fond memories of them, but yeah, in the grand scheme of things now, probably not.
Did this person start for NXT then move to main roster?
No, this isn't an NXT person.
Okay. I've only got 5 questions left. This is really tough.
Surprisingly tough considering who it is.
So they didn't go to NXT. A former X Division champion. Is it X-Pac?
No. He was in WCW.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. It's not WCW, not known for really being a faction. X Division champion. Were they ever in ECW?
No, they weren't.
Okay, so I have 3 questions left. It's not X-Pac, it's not Davari. Are they in WWE right now?
Technically, yes, they are. They are employed by WWE. This person might not be featured on TV right now, but they are employed by WWE.
Okay, so they're a producer in WWE then. Oh. Okay, it's really tough. No, he wasn't. He wasn't X-Division champion. Oh. I can't be Sanjay Dutt. He's in AW, so he's out. Would you say they were in a golden era of the X-Division?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so is it Brian Kendrick?
It is Brian Kendrick.
Oh, I got it with 1 question left.
Yeah.
2 questions. Max is gonna love that one. Okay, so think one. I've got a couple in mind, but just picking one out that's more likely to people are more likely to remember fully. Okay, I've got one.
Okay. Are they male?
Yes.
Were they world champion?
No.
Were they a tag team champion?
I'll say yes.
Okay. Am I currently on the Impact Wrestling roster?
No.
Was I in TNA as opposed to Impact Wrestling?
Yes.
Okay. The Asylum days?
Yes.
Oh, okay. X Division champion?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. Am I most famous for my time in TNA as opposed to anywhere else?
Yes.
Am I the Amazing Red?
No.
Did I have a career outside of TNA before coming to TNA?
No.
Okay. Did I wrestle in the Asylum?
Yes.
Okay. Am I low key?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
my
Okay.
12th question.
So you won that one. Let's go for another one.
Okay, I've got one.
Okay. Male.
Yes.
Mourner for TNA.
Yeah.
XWB.
Has wrestled for WWE, but yeah, don't discount that question.
Okay. Have I won the X Division Championship?
No.
World Championship?
Yes.
Okay. World Champion. Asylum years?
Yeah.
Okay. World Champion from the Asylum years. XWE. Did I hold the NWA World Championship?
No.
Okay. So looking at the new title. Am I Sting?
Sting? No.
Yeah. Okay. World Champion. Trying to think. Am I or am I a future Hall of Famer?
100%.
Okay. World Champion.
I'm
That's
talking
WWE.
Impact Hall of Fame, not WWE Hall of Fame.
Okay. Impact Hall of Famer. Won the World Championship. Next one. Well, have I won the tag team titles?
Oh, yes.
Jim Storm?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got 8 questions.
Nice.
Okay. What should I think now? Okay, I've got one.
Okay. Am I male?
No.
Am I currently on the Impact Wrestling roster?
No.
Am I Taya Valkyrie?
No.
Former Knockouts champion?
Yes.
Am I Awesome Kong?
No.
Am I Angelina Love?
No.
Okay, right. Two guesses. Do I wrestle elsewhere currently?
No.
Am I Velvet Sky?
No.
That was 8 questions. Okay, I'm gonna carry on. I want to try and get it in my 20. Am I a former Knockouts tag team champion?
Yes.
Am I Taylor Wilde?
No.
Am I Tara?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. She's one of the most lovely ladies you could care to meet. We had her over for Bellatrix a few times. She was wonderful. And then when I saw her at WrestleCon in New York 2 years ago, she remembered me and we had a nice little chat. And she's just wonderful. If you get a chance to go and meet Tara, Victoria, Lisa Marie, chuck her 20 quid for a photo because she's just a wonderful person.
That's awesome. All right, so into the final round, the tiebreaker.
Okay. I've got one.
Okay. Male?
Yes.
Former world champion?
Yes.
From Impact Wrestling?
No.
Okay. So did I hold the NWA World Championship?
Yes.
Am I R-Truth?
No.
Okay. Have I been in WWE?
Yes.
Am I currently in WWE?
No.
NWA champion. Am I Jeff Jarrett?
Yeah.
I've got 7 questions at the time. Okay.
Oh, okay. This is gonna be tough.
Right. Let's see if I can just pick up my old brain there. Think. Okay, I've got one.
Am I male?
Yes.
Currently in Impact Wrestling?
No.
The TNA days?
Technically, yes.
Okay. Former world champion?
No.
X Division champion?
No.
Tag team champion?
Yes.
Did I go on to wrestle for WWE?
No.
Did I wrestle for WWE before coming to TNA?
Again, technically, yes.
I think that was my 8th question anyway, so. Am I one of Team 3D?
No.
Oh. Am I known more for my TNA career as opposed to anywhere else?
Yes. Well, certainly made a bigger impact in wrestling in TNA.
I've stopped counting, by the way. I know I've lost. Am I white?
Yes.
Okay. Oh dear. Did I wrestle in Ring of Honor?
Yes.
Am I Mike Bennett?
No.
Am I still wrestling now?
Yes.
But not in any major company?
Depends what you mean by major. It's a TV company.
In the States?
Yes.
TV company in the States. And I am male, aren't I?
Yes.
Yeah,
You are.
right. Oh bloody hell! I'm stuck here. You're gonna have to give me a clue.
Okay, I can give you a clue. Well, when you said formal, I think I'll get a better than that. Okay, it's only been back wrestling for a year.
You've only been back wrestling for a year on a TV company in the States. Not Ring of Honor because they've closed up.
Hmm.
Am I CM Punk?
No. Remember the clue is it's a TV company, but I wouldn't say major.
So I wrestle for MLW.
Yes.
Alex Shelley.
No.
Who else wrestles for MLW? Bobby Fish, TJP, Savio Vega, King Whitez.
Okay, I'll give you one final clue.
Go on.
He's an honorary Brit.
An honorary Brit. An honorary Brit. So he's not British.
No. But we played a major part in his career. Run through your name. Run through all the people.
An honorary Brit. This was for MLW. And it was a tag team champion in TNA.
Yes.
What sort of period of TNA?
Definitely towards. Yeah, okay. They were TNA tag team champions, but the week show wasn't called TNA, but they were TNA tag team champions. TNA was still the company name, but it wasn't what the show was called. Towards the end, so it was Impact Wrestling towards the end, but it was still going under TNA.
Okay. So like when GFW, like during that period, before then?
It was still there, but it was before that.
An honorary Brit. That has really thrown me. No, I give up.
It was Davey Richards.
Right.
The American Wolves. big part in their career.
Yeah, because they made their debut over here, didn't they?
Yes.
Mm.
And is very, very well liked over here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well done, Craig. You got me.
Okay. So, yeah, that's it for this week and until the new year. We will be back January 6th. But on Christmas Day, over on the TNIW channel Twitch, Max, Jeff, myself, maybe a few of the guests will be live on Christmas Day. That will be 1 a.m. for us in the UK, so Boxing Day for us, if you're still around. And if you're still sober, or if you're not, just come join us. And until next time, thank you for watching. Do the whole thing. Follow us here, there, and everywhere. And drop us a subscribe. Drop a comment to let us know you watched and what you thought of the show. Follow us both on social media. And stay tuned for everything we've got coming on the TNW channel Twitter page. Some announcements coming up soon. Until then, I've been the MIC. He's been Nixon. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye, my friends.